going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Jackowitz. This is the Kaged Review, and this is a review for The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 2. Sorry I didn't do a live reaction. I am figuring out some stuff with the new camcorder, and I've actually got quite a ways to go because there's a lot to learn about this thing. But for The Walking Dead, I'm going to do a small recap of the show and then give my thoughts. So we start out, they're rebuilding all of the little communities after the war with Negan and the Saviors. And a couple of big poignant moments. You have a conversation between Michonne and Maggie, where Michonne is trying to get Maggie to kind of help out the Saviors who are trying to rebuild and learn a new way of life, and Maggie is just fed up. She wanted Negan killed, and she's not giving an inch. Jesus is there for that conversation, and he kind of plays a role in there. And you get a conversation between Daryl and one of the Saviors who is just not cooperating with working on this bridge that they're rebuilding. And Daryl is trying to keep everybody in check, and Daryl's kind of getting fed up himself. And there turns into a situation there where Daryl has to have a conversation with Rick about how he doesn't feel like this is really working and that people aren't playing ball. So you get Maggie decides after a conversation with Michonne to go check on Earl, whose son had died in the last episode. And she hears a conversation about how he'd had a drinking problem, and he wasn't himself. He was really drunk and just being really stupid when he went after Maggie. And so that gives Maggie kind of a change of heart there. Right after that, you got this walker trap that Rick is trying to set, and he needs a few people to play ball and make this trap happen by, making some noise. Well, the same Savior that Daryl was having a problem with was supposed to be manning it, a second siren to draw the walkers in, and he wasn't there. He decided he didn't care enough to do it. So the walker trap goes wrong, and they attack some people working on some logs. And Aaron, who, if you remember, is one of the gay guys who his partner died, and now he's kind of left with the Rick community there. And so his arm gets trapped under some falling logs, really big, heavy, tree trunks, and it just smashed his arm, and so they had to amputate Aaron's arm. And so Daryl, he's there while they're doing the amputation, and he knows what happened. And so he goes and asks Carol who it was supposed to be manning that, and finds out it's the same Savior he's had problems with, so he goes after the Savior, just starts beating the holy hell out of him. And Carol, gets him to stop and says, if we do this, it's all going to come undone. And so you clip away from that and you come to Maggie talking about how her dad was a drinker to Jesus and that she's having, a little bit of leniency with Earl. After that, Rick talks to the Savior that they've been having the problems with, and he says, you know what, just get the hell out of here. If you come back, I'm going to hurt you. So that was kind of cool, and then you have a conversation between Rick and Aaron says, you know what, if it wasn't for you, Rick, none of us would be in this situation where we have something to look forward to and something to rebuild. Then you've had a couple of scenes, kind of short scenes, with Father Gabriel and Ann. And Ann is the girl from, like, the landfill, like the last of the landfill people. And it turns out that Gabriel kisses Ann, and it looks like there's something going on there now. And toward the end of the show, you see Carol taking a ring that Ezekiel wanted to give her. She puts it on, so it looks like they're really getting serious. And then you get a pretty cool talk between Negan and Rick. And I've been kind of waiting for that one because I kind of figured it was going to be a highlight, and indeed it was. I think they both hit the nail on the head with it. And then you see that Savior that was exiled. He's walking and he sees somebody. He says, I almost killed you. And then all you see is something just yank him away off screen. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the introduction to the Whisperers. Most people aren't going to know that. That's the Whisperers. So, you have the conversation between Rick and Negan, and you have not really the introduction to the Whisperers, but you know that's what it is. So, very cool. I really liked some of the things they did. I actually thought this was better than episode 1 for sure. I like the character they're building with Maggie. I like that it's really showing kind of the separation between Maggie and Daryl with Rick. And of course Rick and Negan, you know, these two are going to sell it. So it was a really good show, honestly. Like I said, I liked it a lot better than the first episode, by a mile, honestly. I don't know how I would rate this out of 10. I usually rate things out of 10. And I'd say a 7 out of 10. I think it's pretty solid. I think it's building up a lot. And there was enough happening that really kept you interested. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go 7 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait for next one. I'll try to have my camera all completely set up so I can do live reactions with the camcorder. We'll see how that goes. I'm working on it, learning some things, so cut me a little slack. So ladies and gentlemen, that's what's going on. That's what I think of 9-2. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz. Kaged Nation, out.